Hello everyone, you're welcome to my Professor Note, and in this video we will talk about that how to score 60 plus in your NTA UGC NET English Literature exam. Right? So the things which I have mentioned over here, which is a unit, number of questions which are being asked from these units, and books that you need to read. Right, we have also mentioned the books over here and the approaches that you need to follow to score a 60 plus. So let's talk about one by one. You know that your units, drama or play, 13 to 14 questions are being asked. I have already mentioned these things, but to give you once again a complete idea, I am discussing them here. From poetry section, 11 to 12 questions. From your prose, 10 to 11 questions. From novels, 13 to 14 questions. And I know that you are not going to read these units from these questions perspective. I know that you have to do the complete study of this British literature. Right. Now, the thing is, 50% of questions are coming only from British literature, but from these units, in these units, questions are also coming from the American literature, right? Or we can say the world literature. 3 to 4 questions are coming only, right? Not more than that. And I don't want that you should waste your time just for these 3 to 4 questions here, right? Because you have 50 questions are directly being asked from the British literature, so you should focus over here, right? Yeah, you can go for the important works of the American literature, right? Your French literature, right? uh, for example, you have your Samuel Beckett, all right. You have your other writers, the important texts like Stranger, right? Plague, right? These are the some of the important texts from where questions are being asked. So like Eugene Ionesco, right? Some of your important writer, your Russian writer, your German writers, okay? One or two only, you know that, like your Leo Tolstoy, right? uh, your Crime and Punishment, right? So these are some of the important texts and the writers, and they are already being discussed in your previous year's question papers. If you are so confused, you don't know that which work is important, right? Which work is important, which work is not, what to read, what not to read, what to skip. You have to read only those works, you have to read only those writers which are being discussed or asked in the previous year's question papers. I'm saying this repetitively. You just do them, you just cover them, right? The questions, the writers, the books which are being asked in your previous year's question papers, you just do them. You will get your net JRF. I guarantee you that. Okay? You just do that. So now the books which I have mentioned for these 4 units here for your British literature, that is your William J. Long, your Routledge or David Dages. Now there will be a lot of people who will tell you that there is no need to read the David Dages. It's just for those students who are interested into studying, reading, and know literature to its very depth, thoroughly, right? You can go for it, right? If you want to adopt these smart strategies, you have no need to read even any of these books then, right? You just go on Google, you search all the topics which are being asked in the previous year's question paper, you cover them from your Google, you will get your net GRF. Your whole syllabus will be covered in this way. This is one of the most important approach, even though I have shared it here, right? The approaches that you need to follow, all the topics mentioned in the PYQPs must be covered, whether in your question it is being asked, right, or in the option. You just do it, you just read it, you just read its Wikipedia page, right? You have your language and linguistics. Now you don't have a very particular book for language and linguistics, you have many books, right? There are a lot of books to study. Then again you will say this is not a smart way to prepare for this exam. You just Google every single concept which is there, you just Google it. English in India and the higher education in your paper one is very similar. is very similar. English in India, they are talking about that the evolution of your education system as well there, right? Because it all at the very beginning, but they were gurukulas and all, and but when your Britishers came, they they started their own education system in India, and English is the language, right? So 4 to 5 questions are being asked from here. Cultural studies and literary theory is very similar, because we know that cultural study is an interdisciplinary field, so it draws the knowledge from the theories, right? Because it needs that, it depends on that part. So your cultural studies and literary theory is very similar. From a cultural study, only 4 to 5 questions being asked. Literary theory, 8 to 9 questions are being asked. From your literary criticism, 8 to 9 questions, right? And also I have mentioned the book here. For your literary criticism, you can rely on the B Prasad, right? For your literary theory, you can rely upon the P.K. Nair, and for your research method and materials in English, 3 to 4. Right, you can rely upon the MP Sena. And if you don't, you're thinking that there's a lot to read, a lot to study, I don't know, Google it or read any of these books. You can simply do one thing: you go for MyProfessorNote, right? If you don't have time now to complete this the syllabus, right, you can go for MyProfessorNote study material, right? I have provided the contacts given below in the description box, so you can check out there. You contact me and I'll share the details with you. Okay, you have no need to get confused with any of these books, right? Every single thing you will get in this My Professor Note, right? Crash course study material. So you can go for that as well. So these are the strategy, these are the prerequisites that you need to know, that how many questions are being asked from these units and how you can cover them. Once you have a blueprint, then you just have to follow it, right? If still you are confused, I know some of you will be confused, right? Only thing you do, whatever topic there in your previous year's question papers, you just cover them from Google, right? If you have a plenty of time, you are covering for this, you are just preparing for this exam 24 hours, you Google each and every single topic. That's what I have done, even though I have read all of these books as well, right? Because you have to teach, so you have to study, right? You have to study, you need that knowledge as a backup every single time. Okay, so either you choose these things here, right, or you can go for My Professor Note study material. And this is, I think, I would recommend it for all the people who are doing their part-time jobs, don't have time and all, but the person who uses 24 hours there to prepare for the exams, right? Yeah, they can also take help from here. They can also know that how the notes are being prepared, and the cost is not high, right? The cost is only your 1450. So you can go for it if you want, and very soon we are launching the complete one. So I hope this video was helpful. So share it, like the video, and hit the subscribe button. All right, till then time, my professor note signing off. And if there's any doubt you have, so you can contact me, or you can left the comment below, right? My professor note signing off once again.